Hi everyone, I'm in Florida right now enjoying the sunset and family time and just a holiday. Um, but I was thinking this morning about having realistic expectations when you're doing a healing protocol like the GAPS diet. And one thing that I think is really important to talk about is basically having realistic expectations because a lot of people don't. I think as a society, we are told if something is good for you, it feels good. And that's just not with food, that's with everything. And I think it's a really, really toxic, thought or ideology that we need to talk about because, yeah, a lot of things are really bad for you that are promoted as good or your truth or whatever. But it leaks into nutrition and healing and everything. And, a lot of people are vegans long term because it feels good, and one reason for that is you get onto a vegan diet, your blood sugar is really high, you're eating a lot of like high caffeinated, high sugar foods, your candida's feeling great. The raw chocolates that are a superfood are just like keeping you on this caffeine high. But also a lot of people go into veganism after being on the standard American diet. So their body does start detoxing and clearing up and they feel amazing. But often that plateaus, like in my case, or the benefits aren't as amazing as they think they are, or they still have issues that they might not even see as health issues. Like from my experience, when I was a vegan, I felt amazing and like energy and all this stuff because I was having, like I said, so much raw cacao and juice and all that. And it didn't last forever. It only lasted maybe a year that I felt good. But other things didn't clear up and I didn't know they were related to health, so I didn't expect them to. And so I didn't see I didn't see myself plateauing or not making progress. So one example was acne. I used to have not terrible acne, but pretty consistent. I always had to put on makeup. And because of that, when I was a vegan, it didn't clear up. I didn't see that as a problem. But when I came to GAPS and actually healed my gut, things like acne and all these other things, hormones, painful periods started clearing up, my nails got stronger. And it was kind of like, wow, I finally get that when your body is healing, you should feel good and you should have progress in all these areas. Now, sometimes it's really slow. Sometimes it takes months, years. And that's why I really recommend keeping a food journal. So if you haven't looked at that video, you need to go look at the video about the importance of keeping a food journal and why you need to keep one and how to keep one. But just in regards to GAPS, I think it's so important to address your expectations when starting a real gut healing program, because this isn't just a band-aid. It's not just going to make you feel amazing for a couple months. It's something that actually is deeply healing to your gut. And so often that's painful. Often you start this gut healing diet and you're removing all these foods that candida and these other yeasts have been feeding on, and these things start dying off and you actually feel really crummy because your body is overwhelmed with toxins, and it takes a while to get them out, to get your liver working properly, to get your bowel working properly, to overcome constipation. And so certain things will clear up and you'll be like, oh, that's amazing, but then other things might not clear up or take a lot of time and you can feel frustrated. So if you're doing like intro or just even full GAPS, a lot of times you feel worse before you feel better. And I like to kind of think of that as, it's almost like getting rid of a tattoo. You have this tattoo that has your ex-boyfriend's name and a big heart and arrow and all this stuff. And then you kind of realize, oh, I need to get rid of that. That's really not helping me in the dating scene. But in order to get rid of it, it takes going to a tattoo removalist, and it's painful and it takes a while because this permanent, almost permanent thing, it takes a while to get that ink out. And that's like healing your gut. It's taken a long time to do this damage, probably generations, at least decades, to really do this damage. So to undo it is a process and it takes time, and you cannot expect to feel amazing within the first few weeks. Often you'll feel really crummy because your body is detoxing majorly and getting rid of stuff and really clearing itself out. And so that can cause headaches, fatigue, insomnia. Your mental health can get worse. So I just want to kind of address that because I think a lot of people really are told the lie that if you're healing, you should feel better and you should feel amazing. And it's just not the truth. I think GAPS and healing your gut is a lot more like getting rid of that tattoo. It's painful, it takes time, but then the results are amazing and you're so happy you did it. And long term, you're not dealing with these crazy health issues and your skin clears up and your joints don't ache and you no longer have IBS symptoms and your mental health clears up and you sleep well and you're not dependent on anti-anxiety medications. But yeah, it just takes time, and so having those realistic expectations are important, and understanding what's really going on in your gut is super important to understand.